The Independent Community Pharmacy Association says that their members are now in a desperate situation in the aftermath of the violence as well as the looting that's been experienced in parts of KwaZulu-Natal as well as Gauteng in the past few days. For an update on this, I'm joined by Maimin, who is CEO of the Independent Community Pharmacy Association. Ms. Maimin, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Can you give us an idea of the extent of the damage on pharmacies in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng?
Hi there, thanks, and thanks for having me. So in KZN, KZN and Gauteng, we've had 47 of our pharmacies looted and completely destroyed. We have got probably 100 pharmacies that are closed due to safety concerns. You know, we've got to keep our patients and our staff safe. But the real worry is these 47 pharmacies, all of the medicines, all of the stock has been taken and the pharmacies destroyed. These are livelihoods for the staff, and it's the supply of chronic and acute medicines for people in those communities that is a real concern.
And talk to us about the kind of medication that has been stolen and the possible ripple effects of this.
So when they've looted these pharmacies, they have literally taken everything. And within a pharmacy, we obviously cater for a myriad of different illnesses and pathologies. So there are highly scheduled medicines. There are medicines that should only be dispensed on a doctor's prescription. There's cancer drugs, there's ARVs, antibiotics, there's sleeping tablets, powerful painkillers, and it's a real concern that the millions of rands worth of medicines are in the open market now. And I really want to urge all people out there not to take any medicines or purchase any medicines on the black market. You know, these really should be under the guidance of healthcare professionals.
So really some dangerous medication that's out there easily available to absolutely anybody. But talk to us about the impact that this will have on those who are in need of chronic medication, who've got scripts that need to be attended to.
So each of these pharmacies would be supplying medication to thousands of patients, many of which have got chronic illnesses, as I've already mentioned, cancer, diabetes, hypertension. Now, that pharmacy has been gutted. It'll be months before that pharmacy can get up and running again. So their immediate supply is interrupted. They can no longer go to that pharmacy. But to compound that, all of the records have been destroyed. So the prescriptions are gone. The computers and servers that housed the medication histories have been stolen. So we're doing our best, and many pharmacies do store their records up in the cloud. We're doing our best to retrieve those records, but there are going to be many patients who are going to have to go back to their doctor, get a prescription, and then find an alternative source to get their medicines. It really is a challenge, and it's very unfortunate.
So patients will have to find an alternative source for their medicines, as you say. But what is the fate of the independent pharmacy owners? What next for them as far as trying to rebuild their businesses?
Well, this is it. You know, these are independently owned, so pharmacy owner businesses, very often supporting on average about 20 staff members who are also breadwinners. This is going to have a serious impact for them. So you've got this pharmacist owner who's now going to have to try and rebuild a business. These pharmacies could have been stocking 1 to 2 million rands worth of medicines. They're still going to have to pay for those medicines, and then they're going to have to fix the shop up and reorder. It's a terrible blow, and we know that it takes insurance a while to pay out, and even when they do pay out, it probably will not cover all the costs. So right now, our pharmacies, their main concern is to get their patients' records to them, find alternative sources of medication for them, and then they start the long process of cleanup and rebuilding their pharmacies. As an association, we're doing everything we can to support them. We're writing to the president, to the DTI, to try and get support to protect the pharmacies that are closed but haven't been looted yet, and to try and get some sort of financial aid to get these incredibly important pharmacies, healthcare providers back on their feet.
Now, Jackie, there's also the issue of vaccination. How is that being affected?
Yes, this has really set back our vaccination rollout. So we've been very active. We've got about 60 pharmacies at the moment that are vaccinating. We've got a whole lot more waiting to come on board. But unfortunately, one of our main pharmacies in Durban Centre has been hit. It was one of our big vaccination centres, completely looted. We've lost vaccines there. And we have got a number of the KwaZulu-Natal vaccination centres are closed. The pharmacists just can't get there. We've been warned, staff have been threatened, and it's just not safe. Now, what this means is that people that should have been vaccinated on the 12th, the 13th, and today just cannot be vaccinated. Many of those may be people getting their second Pfizer dose. Many would be their very first dose. I know on the 12th, we were 50,000 vaccinations down for the day. So the last 3 days, probably 150,000 people that could have been protected have not been vaccinated. It's a serious setback, really is.
Does this mean that vaccines are also part of the stocks that have been looted in some of these pharmacies?
Yes. So they have been. And as I say, when they go into the pharmacy, they take everything, including all the fridge items. Now, as you know, these vaccines are very temperature sensitive, so they are stored in fridges. They are also light sensitive. So as soon as they are stolen, taken out of the fridge and exposed to light, they are no longer efficacious. And again, I will really warn people, please do not take vaccines from anywhere other than an approved vaccination site. Those vaccines are useless. And it is worrying that it appears that pharmacies, clinics, manufacturers and wholesalers of medicinal products are being targeted. And this is very concerning as to what they plan to do with these medicines and vaccines.
Ms. Jackie Maimin, thank you very much for your time and just putting all of that into perspective. Yes, indeed, every single thing was looted, and including vaccines themselves. So that also just takes our entire vaccination drive back as far as progress is concerned. That's Ms. Jackie Maimin. She's CEO of the Independent Community Pharmacists Association, saying that records were also lost and advising those who are in need of urgent medication to try and find alternative pharmacies that they can use to get help.